In the quiet desert outskirts of Albuquerque, New Mexico, lies a chilling secret. A secret that came to light in 2009. Beneath the sun-baked soil, a mass grave was unearthed, revealing the remains of 11 victims, their lives tragically cut short between 2001 and 2005. Each victim had a story that ended abruptly and violently. The majority were Hispanic women, many of whom were connected to sex work. Their stories were diverse, but their fates were tragically similar. They were mothers, daughters, sisters, and friends, each one leaving behind a void that could never be filled. These women, forgotten by some in life, were suddenly at the center of a city's collective fear and grief in death. Their lives and their disappearances, once overlooked, now formed the chilling narrative of a serial killer on the loose. The discovery of the grave sent shockwaves through the city. The peaceful desert, once a place of quiet solitude, had become a macabre tableau of death. As Albuquerque grappled with the horrifying reality of the murders, the local police, forensic experts, and federal authorities descended on the city, turning it into a hive of activity. The victims, once nameless, now had their identities painstakingly restored. As their names were released, the city began to mourn. Candlelight vigils were held, tears were shed, and the community came together in a shared sense of loss and determination for justice. Yet amidst the sorrow there was a gnawing sense of fear. A serial killer was at large, and the only clues to his identity were the victims he left behind. As the city reeled from the horrific discovery, the hunt for a serial killer began. As with any unsolved case, the shadow of suspicion cast a wide net. Now, let's delve into the two men who found themselves tangled in that net: Lorenzo Montoya and Joseph Blee. Both were considered persons of interest in the chilling West Mesa murders. Lorenzo Montoya, a man with a shadowy past, was known to frequent the same areas as the victims. However, his life was abruptly ended in 2006, leaving investigators with more questions than answers. On the other hand, we have Joseph Blee, a name that rings with infamy. Currently serving a 90-year sentence for unrelated sexual assaults, Blee was known for his predatory activities around Albuquerque. Yet, despite his incriminating profile, no concrete evidence has ever linked him directly to the West Mesa murders. In the face of these potential suspects, we must remember that suspicion and proof are two very different things. Although Montoya and Blee have been scrutinized, the definitive connection to the murders remains elusive. Despite the persons of interest, the identity of the West Mesa murderer remains a mystery. This chilling enigma continues to taunt us, reminding us that even in the age of modern forensics, some secrets remain buried deep beneath the surface. Years have passed, but the search for justice continues. The Albuquerque Police Department Cold Case Unit remains relentless in their pursuit for answers. Their commitment to solving the West Mesa murders case is unwavering, despite the numerous hurdles they face. One of the most significant challenges in this case is the lack of DNA evidence. The victims were discovered years after their deaths, their remains exposed to the harsh desert elements. This has severely complicated efforts to identify the victims and to link them to a potential perpetrator. Without DNA evidence to work with, the investigative team must rely on other methods, such as victimology, geographic profiling, and behavioral analysis, to piece together the puzzle. In addition, the identification of the victims has proven to be a daunting task. Most of the victims were involved in high-risk lifestyles, often marginalized by society and disconnected from their families. This makes it difficult to trace their last known whereabouts or to gather information about their interactions prior to their disappearances. Despite these challenges, the city of Albuquerque remains hopeful. They have offered a substantial reward of $100,000 for information leading to the resolution of the case. This has invigorated public interest and encouraged those with potentially valuable information to come forward. The investigation is a race against time, as memories fade and evidence deteriorates. Yet the police department's dedication to solving this case is unwavering. They continue to explore every lead, every theory, and every possibility in their quest to bring justice to the victims and closure to their families. The West Mesa murders remain unsolved, a grim reminder that even in the vast expanse of the desert, secrets don't stay buried forever.